question.
My question is to both the men and the women. Do you feel that because we talked about, us having like a lot of other obligations and things that get in the way of having sex on a regular basis or frequently? Do you think that's the first thing that is put on the back burner in relationships? Like sex is the first thing that women or whoever, I'm like I don't know, like it's not a priority because when we're too tired or whatever, instead of stop doing something else, like instead of like going to bed earlier or waking up, you know what I mean, you just don't have sex. Like, do you think sex is the first thing that we eliminate?
I think women eliminate it more than men for the most. Like, I don't think
Mhm.
men ever take it off the table. Like, we always can find a window for sex, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like women are the ones that continue to like hold that bit, or like, I'm not saying they restrict it on purpose or anything. They generally are tired, but they work more nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. They generally are tired. But I'm saying a man could do that same shift or whatever, bro, and I still find 15 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes or what, you know what I'm saying, to hey, let's go back here, you feel, in the laundry room real quick, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. I'll find a slot. You know what I'm saying? But women tend to be like,
So,
okay, then nah, because y'all are more emotional, you know what I'm saying, and need the sex to be more emotionally driven. Quick little slide. You feel me? Y'all gonna need more of a window. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna need to be greased up a little bit more, if I could say it like that.
what
Yeah,
about you, Franz?
man. If I could find time to eat, I could find some time in the day. You feel me? You gonna find the time. You gonna find the time. So for me, it's like it's never on the back burner. Like
Never.
it just I could be dead asleep. Like if the wind blow and I'm up,
Whoosh.
like so yeah, I feel like you might not think about it as much. Like I ain't thinking about it a lot today because I've been so busy today and I'm
Mhm.
tired. So it ain't on my mind, like at the forefront of my mind. But
If your
if
wife come down with a little thing, you know what I'm saying, a shirt on and no drop, like panties, and you know what I'm saying, you'll be like, oh, I'll think about it again, man. Okay.
yeah,
So, do you think it's just not that the level of importance is different for men and women? Like for men, that is a little more important, and for women, that's why we can just throw it on the back burner. Like that would be the first thing we eliminate.
yeah, that's how
Yeah,
I feel. I agree
yeah, I think
exactly what
so.
you said.
I do think that. I
So
do agree with that.
essentially, to be in sync and on the same page with the man is just have sex frequently
It ain't gotta be sex though. We
It
ain't
or
don't
got
have to be.
intimacy frequently.
yes.
Exactly. That's what it's
Intimacy.
about. Because to be in sync with a woman, you have to treat her emotions, you know what I'm saying? And then I feel like niggas do that shit for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Y'all always gotta listen, no woman in a relationship can, like, okay, I'm not gonna say no. The majority of women in a relationship cannot say, oh, they didn't have an ear for somebody to vent to, you know what I'm saying? Or get their emotions off of. Because the nigga's always gonna be there. Like, they might not be actually listening, you know what I'm saying? But you got somebody you're talking to, and getting your emotions off, and then
There's difference between someone venting and meeting your emotional needs. Remember our last episode,
Mhm.
we talked
mm,
about emotional intelligence and all of that stuff, and men are not as emotional as women. I mean, I think men are now becoming more emotional and more tapped into their feelings and things like that, but in the past men just wasn't raised like that. So
you don't
they weren't meeting women's emotional needs because they didn't know how to meet women's emotional needs.
you don't
Whereas
think men
women,
was meeting women's emotional needs back like forever?
oh, I'm talking about in general. I feel like there
In
are
general,
some
yeah.
outliers. I think there are some outliers, but I think in general, black men lack emotional intelligence because black men are
I'm
raised
not
to
saying
not
that.
show emotion.
I'm not saying that, but even lacking the emotional intelligence, I still think men in relationships was tending to their women's emotions. You know what I'm saying? They
The
were
way
still
they
meeting
knew
their women's emotional needs.
No, yeah, but the way they knew how, but I still feel like there is a disconnect because a lot of men don't know how to tend to women's emotional needs. they thought they were tending, they were doing the best that they knew that they could.
Okay, that's the point.
But I
right
think
there.
there's still a disconnect because a lot of men don't know how to tend to emotions because they just never were taught to deal with those emotions.
Yeah, we was doing what we thought was treating the emotional needs, but we wasn't. Okay, I got
Correct. So I feel like with women, you meet their emotional needs once you learn how she needs her needs to be met, and then women give men sex frequently. Boom, everybody works.
Everybody gets what they need.
Yeah.